Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce you to this bout on our card. It's brought to you with thanks to Fran's Hydroponics. We do it in the featherweight division. Introducing to you first, standing across in the blue corner, weighed in officially 66.2 kilos. Travels to us tonight from Newcastle, trained out of the Alpha MMA gym. One fight tonight, looking for win number one. Give it up, this is Brody Eatons. His opponent standing across in the red corner. From Brisbane to River City, he's trained out of the base training centre. Weighed in officially 65.45 kilos. Brings to the cage a record 2 fights, 1 win and the 1 loss. Make some noise. This is Caleb Miller. Third man in the middle. Referee, Mr. Peter Hickmott.
This professional fight brought to you by Fran's Hydroponics. See the team at Fran's Hydroponics to set up your garden for success. Their friendly experts will guide you every step of the way. Head to franshydroponics.com.au for more information. Eid versus Miller. You can just see some of the little subtleties once we move into our pro ranks, can't you? They slide just out of range. They're checking kicks. Oh, and a huge kick up top for Miller. Goes through the guard. Eid choosing to shoot in. He just seems like a powder keg, does Eid. He's so stocky.
Absolutely.
Just ready to explode.
Yeah, I was looking for Caleb, I think, to try and attack the leg kicks. That's generally something I think that would work quite well against Brody. But Brody did a great job closing the distance and getting in on a grapple.
You can tell when somebody's just used to being taken down and standing up. There's almost this like dull disappointment in themselves in their eyes when they stand up, and that's exactly what Caleb Miller was doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice chain wrestling by Brody. Caleb's locking the Kimura. Decides to let go of it.
I like what both guys are doing. Brody E just working to get Caleb Miller down and grind him down. And Caleb Miller, as soon as he's going down, he's popping back up again.
Yeah, I think this is smart by Brody. Caleb's such a tenacious striker. You don't really want to get into a scrap with him in the center of the cage.
No, absolutely not. And Eid doing anything but that. As a guy with a beard, when people try to choke you like that, man, it's infuriating. Especially if they accidentally yank on it, man, it is. You're not getting a Christmas card from me. Eid absolutely going to work.
Yeah, he's doing a great job chaining his wrestle, but I mentioned before, sometimes it can get a bit tiring for the person attacking as well, if you're not efficient with your attacks.
And I love what Miller's doing when he's choosing to do it. He's not waiting to turn his back and give his back up. He's doing it immediately and then closing the door again, so then that opportunity for his back to get taken, it's just gone.
Yeah, definitely smart moves from both boys here.
Working on the single again. We almost saw it again.
Yeah, he's done that. Brody's done that so many times now. He off-balances with the head outside single, and then he jumps on the back. Just can't really make anything happen while he's on the rear body lock other than the knee to the butt, which can do some damage. It can give you a dead glute.
Oh, 100%. You need him. You need him for a fight. I love that. That look behind, just hitting that elbow from Caleb Miller. Why not? Going back to that Kimura grip again.
I think that's a good attack for Caleb. I was surprised he let go of it before. I think it has potential.
Oh, he just diving on his back and then diving on the neck. Didn't maintain control with his legs. This could be under the neck. He looks like he likes it. The angle seems to be off. Yeah, Caleb Miller getting that arm in.
Yeah. It looked. I agree with you. It looked like it was on for a moment, and then Caleb managed to just get his fingers in and get a defensive hand in place on that guillotine.
And again, hits that, gives up his back, gets back to his feet. It's those subtleties and that fight IQ of knowing when to give your back up. If it means that it's worth it, you can get it back up to your feet. It's the stuff that sets these guys apart from the amateurs. Oh, I love that frame. The overhook, that frame, getting into what we call a T-clinch. And if Eid wants to push into that frame, he almost does it at his own detriment.
Yeah, absolutely. Those little slip elbows when you drive into that frame and they just let the elbow slip across your face, it can do so much damage for such a small shot.
And he's gone back to it again. I love it. Really making Eid think about it and change up his attack. And attack is what Miller does in those moments.
Yeah, Brody looked for the lift there, right? It's not a bad idea, but sometimes when that doesn't work, it's so inefficient if you can't finish the takedown. It can be a little bit soul-breaking when you lift someone up and then their feet just hit the ground again.
Yeah, with absolutely nothing to show for it. Bigger rounds, a different pace. It'll be interesting to see if Eid can keep this up for 2 more.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's set a really high pace for the wrestle in this round.
Oh, huge elbows. As they break right at the end of the round. Eid making no mistake about what he wants to do. He wants this a grappling affair. He wants to be so close to Caleb Miller that Miller can't get any of those insanely dynamic shots off that he's known for. And as we go to the replay, you can just see Eid just trying to jump on any sort of choke. Miller just doing a fantastic job of staying in the fight. He didn't look like he was phased of any of the grappling from Eid.
He didn't look too phased, but you've got to be careful sometimes to not let the fight get away from you. I've made that mistake before, many times, unfortunately, actually, where you don't feel like you're in danger, so there's no rush, and then all of a sudden, the fight's over.
Yeah, absolutely true. It was definitely a good round for Eid. You'd have to give it to Eid.
All right, Brody, good. Carol, good. Do it again.
Let's see how the story of the fight unfolds as we move into round number 2. You can immediately see the comfortability of Caleb Miller here. Throwing his feint, sorry. Trying a jumping scissor kick. Eid, an ill-timed or ill-thought-of knee there. Just really compromised the base of Miller.
Yeah, it looked like Caleb kind of went down because of the shot and also kind of just because he lost his balance there and fell onto his butt.
And Eid just showing that he's still got that tenacity and that willingness to wrestle. He looks like he hasn't really slowed down at all.
Yeah, he has really impressive wrestling cardio, although he gets dragged. Nice reversal by Caleb.
Those knees against someone who wants to wrestle or wants to do this real high-octane grappling, huge, huge. There's nothing worse than getting hit by a knee to the body.
Yeah, absolutely. And a sneaky elbow as well by Caleb there. He should definitely look to use more of those. I think that's going to work for him.
It's a funny one. Like, even those knees to the body, it doesn't look like much to you at home, but an okay knee. Oh, Miller reverses it, ends up on top. But an okay knee, it can take you like 30 seconds for you to properly recover from it. And that's not even a bad one.
Yeah, absolutely. Great for Caleb right here. It looked to me like Brody was starting to get a little bit tired on the fence, like we predicted could happen with that high-paced chain wrestling. Caleb's in a really good position now, applying a heavy crossface. It's going to be pretty easy for him to move to mount here, I think.
Yep, you're right. Eid just holding onto that half guard across his body for dear life, but it doesn't even seem to be doing too much for him.
Yeah, nice work by Caleb. Just using his top head and arm to move into the mount with a high tripod. Gets behind.
Eid with like the desperation spin. He does it again and it worked for him, but he ends up back where Miller wanted to be anyway.
He escapes. Very impressive. Oh, massive elbows for Caleb.
Huge, huge elbows.
Oh, I think he's actually opened up Brody's head there.
Yep, he has.
Yeah, right. Caleb.
Right on the crest of the mohawk.
Nice.
Oh, huge reversal.
Yeah, that's massive for Caleb there, especially after opening Brody up with that elbow on the head.
Eid electing to turn over, gives up his back. And Miller's still just going to work. He's peppering him with shots, establishing control, keeping it. And what's even better is that he's using it. Keeping control of the hand of Eid. Hitting him with as many shots as he can as he rises. And even when he does rise, it's back to where Miller wants to be. Eid again.
Same thing again, just that single back to the body lock, or a front body lock or a rear body lock. Seems like he doesn't really mind. He just wants to get in that grapple.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As long as they're at this range, seems to be it's what Eid wants.
Brody's posture just seems a little bit low. That's why Caleb's able to catch him with those elbows. I call them little, but even though they're not a big elbow, they do a ton of damage, as we can see now.
I like the frames of Miller in the clinch. Another elbow. He keeps that overhook. And he's able to reverse the position yet again.
Yeah, Brody's starting to look pretty exhausted now, and Caleb's in a great position.
Oh, out the back door does Eid, straight on a double leg.
Yeah, nice work. But Caleb always does well in fights like this, I've noticed. These kind of, these just wars where they end up dragging out a little bit, everyone's getting tired. Caleb seems to shine in those kinds of situations.
He's still going to work.
Yeah.
He's still absolutely going to work. He's picking his spots, he's picking his shots.
It looks to me like Brody really just wants to make it to the end of this round.
Yep.
Hope he's kind of maybe taking it, which I don't think so at this point.
10 seconds left in the round. Miller's just starting to turn it on. He's opening up the taps. What a better time to do it. Wow. It's been all Eid in the grappling up to a point. And that point was the point of the elbows of Miller, who's now spilled the blood of Eid, who shakes his head as he heads back to the corner, looking disheveled and a little heartbroken at the way at least the end of the round went. As we go to this replay, the scissor kick just slapping on the chin of Eid, and Eid going back to the game plan. Looking for shot after shot after shot. And Miller just staying active every chance he had. He was punching. If his arm was free, it was a punch or it was an elbow, and they were coming in bunches. You can hear the crowd now getting behind Caleb Miller. As we head into the third round, where we really could see the momentum of the fight changing. The first round was all Eid. That second round, it looks like Miller got the most of him.
So please just check the shot before you throw.
Yeah, we just saw the corner of Caleb Miller. Aaron Blackie very clearly demonstrate he wants an uppercut when Brody shoots. Look for Caleb to step back and throw that uppercut when Caleb shoots.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We saw Caleb go to the knee earlier. Didn't hit it, compromised his base. That's why that uppercut is there. Keep both feet on the ground, lift his head up when he shoots. The uppercut is such a great choice. If you miss and he shoots, you might get an underhook. You might lift his head up. You might have a frame.
Yeah, much less risk than the knee. Brody really looked like Caleb had gotten into his head a little bit at the end of that last round, but he seems okay now.
Capoeira kick. Oh, huge leg kick. Oh, a huge check. You can just see the shin of Eid bounce off Miller's. Eid just waiting in it at that point there, but it's good to see him taking some of the initiative in the striking department at least.
Yeah, I'm surprised Caleb isn't using his boxing more. I think that's going to be a great path to victory for him.
Could it be the fact that he doesn't really want to plant and maybe have Eid shoot in on him, but a big shot. knocks the saliva out of the mouth of Miller, literally. And Miller just shrugged that takedown attempt off.
Yeah, interesting, because it looked like Brody had his hands locked for a moment, and he was, it must just be exhausted at this point from so much chain wrestling.
And he's still going back to it.
I suspect Caleb may look for that elbow again. He stuffs the head in between the legs. That's great work by Caleb. Makes the takedown impossible to finish at this point for Brody until he gets his head back on the outside. Oh, massive knee.
And straight back to it. Eid. Straight back to the defense is Miller. Nothing Eid has done in this fight has come easy. And that's due to the defense of Miller.
Yeah, Brody really just needs to posture up a bit more on those takedowns. He's starting to look very sloppy. Fair enough, because he's been working so hard in this fight. But that could be a fight-ending mistake for him if he leaves his head too low like that for much longer.
Yeah, especially because Miller's just opting to go to those elbows. They're devastating. And like you said, they really don't have to be that big.
Absolutely. Playing between those and the guillotine threat.
Head up, Brody. That's it. That's it. If you get double on it, that's fine. Do damage, Brody.
This is the grind, isn't it? This is the grind that people talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Both boys starting to look reasonably tired at this point. That was a big knee by Caleb, back on the single.
It's almost as soon as a knee comes up, Eatons just all over that leg.
Yeah, it can make it hard sometimes. If the guy wants to shoot a single, you're trying to throw the knee, they kind of end up smothering your knee sometimes.
Someone in the crowd calling for a foot stomp. Wildly specific. Miller just doing everything right on his end. It's just just the will of Weed of the will of Eid to just get into these grappling and clinch exchanges. It's very, very hard to deny. Oh, and it could be another reversal by Miller, and it is.
Yeah, great reversal by Caleb.
Every time Miller gets a decent underhook or an overhook, he does everything he can with it. He gets his money's worth, and Eid goes out the back door. And that just goes to show, like, that was a horrible position for Miller just then. On the ground in Turtle, that was one hook in with the seatbelt. That's not that great. As soon as he stands up, it's almost nothing.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by the tenacity of both these boys in this fight. Like, for Caleb to be against the fence this long, and he's still working, still defending, and Brody just keep attacking. For 15 minutes, that's pretty insane to keep that work rate up the whole time. To keep reversing each other.
It's been like 90% probably like grappling. And that includes the clinch striking that we've seen from both guys. Like in the open striking like that, man, it has made up a small portion of the fight. It has just been a grind. That is brutal. That is like one of the most brutal fights that you could possibly have.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not like to be involved in that bout. That looks extremely tiring for both parties.
So difficult. So hard. It's literally like when it gets like that and it's an immovable force against an unstoppable object, it's literally just becomes a battle of wills. It becomes like who wants it more. And that was that huge right hand by Eid over the top. Knees from Miller. At every opportunity he had, Miller was throwing something. If there was a knee there, he was launching the knee. If it was an elbow, he was elbowing. If it was a punch, he was punching. He literally, if he could strike, he was striking. Very, very hard fought bout between both these guys. As our judges continue to deliberate, I don't fault them at all. keeping us patiently waiting. As we head back into the cage for the official decision with James O'Shea.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for both of our fighters. And this one brought to you thanks to Friends Hydroponics. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards. Your first judge scored about 29-28 to Edie. Judge number 2 scored about 29-28 to Miller. Your third judge scored about 29-28 to your winner by split decision, and it goes to the blue corner, Brody.
So the control time and the grappling of Ede gets it done. It really just like he deserves the win just for the amount of effort involved almost.
Yeah, I mean, we're the real winners after this bout.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, the amount of effort and the will to win that he had in that fight, he literally didn't stop. That was inhuman. To do that, it's like human CrossFit, but worse. Like literally getting elbowed in the head while you're doing it. And Brody Ede evens up his MMA record at 1-1 as he takes the victory.